Hare Krishna. So we have discussed about Pandu, Pandu's curse, and now Pandu went back to the kingdom. And in the kingdom, he explained to the Kurus what had transpired when he was in the forest. So, because of that reason, he wanted to quit the position of the emperor and go back to the forest again. However, the Kuru members, the elderly members, advisors, ministers, they all refused. They heard, but they refused to accept his resignation. Later, they gave atonement programs. So, this is the way that you can atone for a murder that you have committed unknowingly. So, they suggested many things. You give cows in charity, travel to different pilgrimage sites, give food to the poor. So many things they have suggested, but none of them actually clicked on his head. So he said, it's not possible, because the one reason that he told me that I'm an unworthy king, because I could not recognize him as a rishi in the body of a deer. So he doesn't want to listen at all. So in that way, he left the kingdom. So we need to understand that we go out every day and come back in the evening, which means that we survived one more day in this material world. But tomorrow is not guaranteed whatsoever. Once we come out of this body, we are done with everything and everybody. We are not connected with anyone. That point of time, which is called death, only we will come to know. While living, we may be very much loving everyone. That's all good. But spiritually and spiritual personalities, higher authorities, do not recognize this material love. So that is what it is. Just like a bird goes out of the nest for food in the early morning and come back later in the afternoon or evening, because the bird doesn't even make a nest until they conceived some eggs in their tummy. So once they are pregnant, only they will start making a nest. This is the same policy the human beings also have, right? They expand the house, mansions, cars, and everything. Mostly, if it is not inherited from the parents, mostly it is after the marriage. So same thing everywhere is there. So here Pandu had such a beautiful, loving family, and now he is going to retire. And he didn't want his family members to follow, but because being chased wives, they said, no, we are also going to go with you. There is no way we are going to allow you to live there in the forest by yourself. So he would not have agreed upon that, but the force is so much current in that force, so he had to take them to the forest. So after going to the forest, there is no children, and they lived a life of ascetic, savanaprastha, and in the end he was contemplating on having children, but he also knew about the curse, and the wives also know about it. While he was discussing with Kunti Maya, so she told that since you are talking about this, I had a benediction given by Durvasa Muni, who was also powerful, and he is also as good as death. Because a small mistake happens in his service, he immediately curses as to death or destroy everything, make completely a bankrupt personality by cursing. He did it to so many people, so many devatas. So Mother Kunti had a chance to serve um, Durvasa Muni when she was a teenager. Thereafter, being pleased with her, Durvasa Muni benedicted her that whoever she invites, they can give a child. That whoever is actually the higher demigods. So these blessings will be linked to all the demigods. So as soon as you chant this mantra, that one demigod will appear and fulfill your desire of having children. So when she said that to Maharaj Pandu immediately asked, why don't you call for Dharmaraj? Dharmaraj and Yamaraj is two different personalities. So she chanted the mantra, Dharmaraj appeared. How can I help you? She said, I need a child. Tadastu, he gave a child. So the Pandavas' birth is just mysterious. It's all mantra program, using mantra technology. So he gave a son called Yudhishthira. Again, Pandu actually said, year after year, you call for Vayudev. So Vayu came and gave a son called Bhimasena. Bhimasena. Bhima. Sena means the whole legion of soldiers. So Bhima, single person, is equivalent to many soldiers. So thereafter, she called Indra on Pandu's advice. Indra came and gave him Arjuna. So thereafter, again, he said, you call one more son. She said, no. One thing she said, that if I accept more than 3 children, then I became unchaste. Up to 3 members is okay. After that, I will be considered unchaste. So therefore, I give this mantra to Madri, because Madri also so sad that she did not have any child. And my sister only keep giving, co-wife only giving children. So naturally Pandu had more affection for Kunti. Of course, she may be speculating that. That is not true. He had a love for both. So that is untouchable love. So now she imparted this mantra to Madri. Madri invited 2 members, that is Ashwani Kumaras. There are 2 physicians in the heavenly planet. The entire planetary system, there are 33 million higher planets, all heaven. But there are only 2 doctors, physicians. Why? Because there were no disease. When there are no disease, doctors have no value. In the material world, on the earth planet, we have every nook and corner. Like a grocery store, we have hospitals. So why? Because we have we don't follow the laws of nature. We don't follow the diet and drinks, food and beverage given by the Supreme Lord. So we breach the rules of the laws given by God. Therefore, we get disease. Consequently, we ended up in a hospital. But when everyone, you know, does that, then everybody has to go to the hospital. Therefore, we generate more than patients. We generate doctors, but they are also insufficient, right? That's a joke. But year after year, we generate so many doctors, but our doctors are occupied, busy. Neurologists, cardiologists, brainologists, ontologists, right? Gastroenterologists, so many ologists are there. But in the heavenly planet, there were only two doctors to take care. Those doctors came to Madhuri's aid and gave two children, and Sahadev and Nakul. So they were also could also heal the people's disease. And they did to so many people. Even they did to Karna on the order of Mother Kundi. And they did not know, these children, five Pandavas, didn't know Karna is their oldest brother, born before them, before even having, had the wedding with Maharaj Pandu, you know, their mother. Their mother married Pandu much later. So Karna was born even before the wedding. So, but she kept it secretly, this particular um, event or incident. So now Pandavas were born. So there Duryodhan born right after Bhima born here. So Bhima born after just 2 or 3 days after Duryodhana was born. So now Duryodhana cannot have any, right to claim the kingdom because he is younger. The system is the older brother will rule the world. So that also become a big problem for the Kauravas. So everyone is Kurus. But when we speak about Pandu's sons and Dhritarashtra's sons, then there is a division. Dhritarashtra's sons are called Kauravas, and Sri Maharaj Pandu's sons are called Pandavas. But both of them are, coming in the Kuru dynasty. So in this way, they were born. Now, one day, Madri and Pandu were alone somewhere in the forest, and some or other he got attracted to her, and other members the kids were playing. After several years, kids were playing, and Mother Kundi was cooking, and some or other these two people were alone. So naturally, their desire increased and they forgot the curse, both of them. So naturally, he approached her in a loving mood and he expressed his desire to himself and moved towards her and had that desire. That desire killed him, got a heart attack, right? Means soul left the body and died. So when this happened, naturally, the children were just few years old, 4 or 5 years old. Yudhishthira was 6 or 7 years old. So in this way, father left. The funeral took place. Meanwhile, Vithura and other members came here seeing Dhritarashtra's um, very evil style of ruling the Hastinapur kingdom. They could not tolerate. So they wanted Pandu to go back to the kingdom. But it is so unfortunate. Satyavati Mataji's ambitious desires to make her children the emperor of the world ruin her own family. The offense that she done to Bhishma Dev was keep coming, the reactions. Aprarabdha bhalam pavam kudam bijam phalonmukam. So it was unmanifest. The offenses, the seed of the reactions of the offenses were unmanifest. Then later came in the form of a bija, seed, then it manifested. So every desire she actually had, all those desires are being killed by her own destiny, reactions of karma. So in that way, she lost the hope in the kingdom altogether. Dhritarashtra was not actually listening to her at all. She is the oldest there in the kingdom. And she is called mother, like Elizabeth or Victoria or something. But these guys, they were not listening. So therefore she went to the forest to get Pandu back. But that also failed. So now the real competition between these children will happen. And ultimately, Bhishma Dev forced them to send to Gurukul for getting trained, so that the qualified members can occupy the kingdom. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.